Hello and welcome to another episode with the Werf League. I'm JT and accompanied tonight by Michael Govier. Michael, how we doing?
Yo, 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 yo. Pleasure to be aboard, my friend. How we doing? How we living?
Welcome aboard. I'm doing well. Man, MLB trade deadline just still coming off that high, and fantasy trade deadline for the Earth League, which we'll get to a little bit later, but lots of moving and shaking and just trying to follow it all. And wow, just fireworks. Kind of that's the theme, I think.
Yeah, I'm so pissed that I traveled last week. It was really a bad time based on this legendary trade deadline. I missed all of it in real time, really. I caught glimpses here and there, but I was too involved with my nephew and his birthday and all that. And yeah, that was cool, but it would have been nice to kind of dive in on all that stuff as it happened in real time. But the good news is I can still talk about it whenever I want, whenever I want.
There you go. Sometimes family comes first. I was out of town. I went up to a water park with my family and enjoyed sliding down the slides with the little ones. And I still try to keep a pulse on everything, but man, I was like, that guy got traded where? Holy cat. Yeah, it was fun stuff. But first off, we're going to talk about Earth overall standings amongst Glarf, Barf, Nerf, Turf, and Werf. So here, let's just get to it. Always got the handy dandy spreadsheet. All right. Off the bat.
Look at that.
Boom. Corbin Young still holding down that overall number one spot. Hashtag
I guess it's still leg day.
It's every day. Oh, I need to tweet at him, DM him. I saw these. They're called like monkey feet. It's like a clip that attaches to your foot, and then you can do like hamstring curls like you would a bicep. So with a dumbbell, it's called like a monkey feet attachment.
Wow.
I don't know. I think I've been talking leg day too much with him because that's the ads I'm getting now on social media.
Yep. It's funny. But, they've targeted you for leg day, GT.
Right? I felt it though after the water park. Man, that was like uphill every single time you went, oh, let's go do another slide. You got 100 yards uphill. It's a good burn.
Damn straight.
Dave McDonald. Dave. He's holding down the 2 spot overall. And strike team, Dalton Del Don from the Barf League, top 3 right there. Hey, do you know who number 4 is overall? I think I've heard of him.
He's a doofus from what I hear, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know him personally, but bad things, a lot of bad things. And I've heard he's really full of himself, egomaniac, but second place in Glarf is a pretty impressive effort. So I'll take it. Yeah, I will take it.
And always rocking some badass facial hair. I always appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, we both have excellent facial hair game going on here. Dave kicking ass now. He opened up a huge lead all of a sudden, which for our league it was a 9-point league as of this morning. And I missed the trade deadline, which we'll talk about more. So I wasn't able to really execute any trades in our league. And Dave and some of the other guys like Carmen Arano and so forth, they did. And we'll see if I can make up the ground. He's got a healthy lead, but I am rooting for Dave. The bottom line, to take Corbin down. That's what I want. I want our Glarf man of the hour to take it all down. So I want to beat him, but sorry, Corbin. Got to root for the Glarf crew.
Yep. I know Corbin held pat. Mark McElroy made a last minute trade, if you will, the day of. So he's right there, 8th for overall, 2nd in the Werf League. But Michael Waterloo's always up here. Those 2 Johns. I wish I knew who you were. Unidentified so far out of the Barf. But
really?
Yeah, there's a handful here. There's 75 of us strong, right? And there's about like 9 or 10 that I just haven't like stalked enough. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but if it was fairly apparent by just looking at the public standings on the Fantrax, I added them. If they don't want to, have their username or their real name, if it's hidden on Fantrax, I try to respect that. But, this is trying to just kind of promote these regions and all the things that we can come together and have in common. So I know Lucas Beery there has slid a little bit. But Carmen, yeah, you said he made a ton of trades. We'll get to those, but wow, he was wheeling and dealing. I don't know if he got his Depoto hat on. I don't know if he had his, San Diego Padres GM hat on, but he was feeling it.
Yeah, we and him talked about doing a deal that we didn't end up doing. He was contacting me while I was down in Georgia on the roadie, and I just didn't want it. And the one I wanted, he wouldn't do. So that's what happened. Stalemate. And I will mention that. Well, I'll save it for the trade deadline. But yeah, Carm is much slender than me, but he could probably beat me in a race. But I feel like I could take him in an arm wrestling match. The gauntlet has been thrown down, Carm.
Boom. That just happened. Also up here, Eno's been hovering in the top 10 or so, sliding back a bit. Chris holding strong, commish of the Nerf, holding down the 2 spot there for Nerf League, 15th overall. Wow, we got a stack of Werf right there. I love this color coding. I'm very proud of it. My wife has taught me well on the Excel spreadsheet, I believe.
Very well done. Absolutely.
Humble brag.
Kudos to her.
All right. You can check this out. I tweeted it today. You can check it out at the Werf League, at JT_the Ginger. I tagged the commissioners. So go find it if you want to interact, filter. I always recommend you can go to the overall totals, and maybe if you're in a 15-team league, see how your team's pacing out against the rest of us. I hope you're beating my 4.69 ERA on the year. Really not. I was like, man, I think I could stream a little bit. Nope. No. Even a stream was too deep of waters for me this year.
Oh shit. Yeah. I feel for you, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I am, because I like you. And by the way, I haven't said this. I'm really grateful that you do this work. It's very cool. You don't have to do it. Nobody has to, I guess. But the fact that you're putting in the time and effort, I appreciate that. And I hadn't said that all season. So make sure you know that. Everybody should be grateful, JT, for making it happen.
Cool. Thank you. Yes, it was a fun project to do. It was like, if I get it set up correctly, I just need to copy paste 5 times like once a week. And I think everyone would appreciate that. And it'd be fairly simple, straightforward for me. So yeah, it takes, unless someone changes their team name, so that please don't just do it just to do it. But if they change their team name, it does mess up, the whole algorithm I got going on amongst all the spreadsheets, but it's a quick fix. So otherwise it takes me like 15-20 minutes in the morning. So I update it weekly, Monday mornings, because the last day of the season will be on a Sunday, October 3rd. And yeah, so we are winding down. We're in August already. It's crazy. So I'm going to move on. Those are the overall Earth standings.
There's a big gap, by the way, I think, between me and Ralph Lifshitz here with the points. Like there's the 5 of us or so, and then there's a little bit more of a gap. So it'll be curious to see if some of these other people could close the gaps overall. But obviously, regionally, there are definitely gaps that could be closed.
Yes. Sorry, I'm lagging here, and I clicked exit, and then you started talking about that. I was like, well, I just keep lagging because you've got a nice point there, but we're just at the whim of the buffering in the background for my other podcast I just wrapped up with. All right. We're going to do some fab transactions, but first we're going to recap any trades per league. And it just so happens I just got my nifty tab bar, bookmarked. Werf is the first one I got. I go to most often. Sorry, home field advantage here. Just that's the way we're doing it. So trades, only had the one trade there at the deadline, and involving Woodruff and Tatis Jr. before he hit the IL. It was something that Smada had been asking for. He's like, hey, I've been shopping Tatis all July, looking for a partner, and finally came together there for Woodruff. And Smada was even nice enough, because the next day when Tatis went on the IL, and he's like, hey, should we just rewind that, league vote? And Danny was okay with it. Everyone's okay with it. Hey, it happens sometimes.
Yeah,
I said, hey, if we're going to rewind this, let's go back to the beginning of the year when the day before the season started, I traded for two players. That one was Rosenthal, and he went on the IL, never to be seen again. So
that's
let's
right.
rewind that one, guys. No, just kidding. I'm not bitter.
No, no, no. Clearly, you're very, very relaxed and calm, and there's no anger in you at all.
Any comment on the trade? I think it's fairly fair. I mean, unfortunately, Tatis IL, but when healthy.
Yeah, but he's done it. You know, he's had the IL stints for the same thing early this year. So I expect he'll be back after the 10-day IL stint and he'll finish the season like a madman. That's what he is. That's what he's been doing. Nothing will change. So I like this trade for the Tatis advantage. I think it's a smart move. I really do.
Can never have enough pitching, right? That's the slogan. Print the shirts.
Yeah. In our league in the Glarf, it seems that for the trade deadline opened up a lot of new opportunities around all of MLB. It was really hard to find anybody who could give you a quality start. They're on everybody's teams or just stuck on the bench, and it's hard to get them. It was really, really challenging to find them in fab bids. But until this weekend, there were some new opportunities that opened up.
Yep. Speaking of opportunities, Kyle Farmer's taken advantage of his. He's batting third most recently in the order there in Cincinnati. So I feel like we're going to see his name a lot picked up in terms of fab off of what would this be? Week 20, I believe, in terms of how I've been scoring it here at home. 60 fab units to Ryan Bloomfield, putting Cooper on the IL. I got Farmer in a Yahoo league where he's also catcher eligible. Jackpot.
Wow. So dumb. I love Yahoo, but it's so dumb.
Yeah, I don't like two Otanis. I'd rather. I've found that each platform has its own little interesting niche, quote unquote issue. So I don't think there's a perfect platform out there. You just gotta hopefully you know what to expect and roll with it. That was the theme of your trip, cross country trip, and sometimes that's just the theme of life.
Amen, brother. No doubt about it. You're wise. You're so philosophical. Very deep.
I am a dad, so I have these dadisms that just start oozing out of me. It's like when you hit puberty and you're like, what is that? I became dad. I was like, what did I just say? I sound like my father. So luckily enough, I had a great dad. And so most of the things are quick-witted and sarcastic and dry. So let's see. John picking up Seth Beer, 3 fab units. Brent Rooker, Palouse Posse. So that's that'd be Dave, wouldn't it? 37 fab units. Dropping Burger. What do you think of Brent there in Minnesota getting some playing time now?
I wouldn't pay 37 myself, but team need means everything. Context is very important. And if you think Brent Rooker is going to be a difference maker, because to me, 37 is a lot of money right now based on where we're at in the season. And I paid 32 for a guy this past weekend. So it must have meant a lot to him. But Brent Rooker was not somebody that I targeted in fab this past weekend. Not for me.
Also going Palouse Posse, Cal Quantrill, 22 units.
I like that.
It's solid. I think I put in a bid, but obviously I didn't do enough. It might have been like 15 or 20. It was right there underneath it. So we're dropping Cool. Oh, Cool hits the IL. I did not.
I'm surprised he was available, by the way, in this. He's not available in our league. He'd been on a team for a bit. The only question, I think, the big concern was, could Quantrill give quality starts? Could he get to 6 innings? Because he was given opportunities and pitching well in 5-inning bursts, 4-inning bursts, and it was just a matter of that extra inning. But it looks like that might be the case heading down the stretch now, that he will be of service.
It seems like it. I mean, somewhat low strikeout.
$218.
Yeah. Not just
Three Detmers, $137. Wow.
We went big. So I misremembered. Now Mark went with the big unit bid and Smada went with the big trade at the end. I misquoted earlier. My apologies. But yeah, Kyle Finnegan, 218 units, dropping Brujan. And then yeah, Detmer's there. He started off strong and then faltered at the end of his outing. But if he stays up, 137 units, Smata going, dropping Diaz. I think Smata had like 2 or 3 catchers, so he can get rid of the extra one and spec at Smata's a prospect guy, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Maybe he's a big Reed Detmers 2020 draft pick in MLB, but yeah, we're just spending units. I think I have the least. I think I have 80 left after it's all said and done after this week.
Yeah, I'm close to there. I think I might be around 102.
Yeah, I think I had somewhere around 200, and I was like, let's try to I think this is the week to the most moving and opportunity with the trades, the real trades in MLB. But Michael Franco goes to Ryan there, 20 units. Rafael Ortega getting a lot of playing time with the Cubs now. Ryan picking him up for 45 units, dropping Pinder.
3-homer game. I don't know if you're going to top that.
Woo. But I mean, been batting leadoff, right? So lots of plate appearances, not walking a whole lot from what I've seen, but opportunity. He's got a pulse.
Yeah.
He's batting.
I don't buy it. It'll fade. He doesn't have a career that supports anything he's doing right now. But ride the hot streak and then move on once it fails. I get it.
Yimmy getting dropped for now his current, former counterpart, Floro, there in Miami. Andy picking him up 49 units. Another spec save addition with Bednar, 27 to Corbin. Dropping May. He just picked him up last week. So just kind of trying to find those random saves with solid ratios maybe there. Corbin.
I like this Luis Garcia pickup. Smart.
Right? Talk about him.
Well, he showed really nice patience, and it was the 2020 Bozo season, obviously, but I had never heard of him, and I saw him in a few games last year for the Nats. I was like, oh, I like this guy. He can steal some bags. He can hit for a little bit of pop, and at second base, that's nice to have. And with all the openings now, some of the roster changes, Trey Turner's gone. Maybe that's why they moved Trey Turner too. I know that Garcia could play. He plays second, but he can also play some short too. I might be mistaken on that. I have to double check that. Maybe that's a stretch, but they certainly had a plan here saying, hey, we can move on for Trey Turner. We got a guy we really like in Luis Garcia.
Yeah, very interesting what the Nationals did. I mean, their minor leagues is not very high in terms of the evaluation. So they tried to make the most of it. They had a fire sale. And if I know anything about a fire sale, being a ginger, I think they executed pretty well in terms of returns. But yeah, Luis Garcia was one of their top prospects in a whole lot more playing time there. Yeah, probably picking up some more position eligibility. Could be a savvy $7 bid there for Mark. So well done, well played. Jake Myers, Smata, 17 units.
Yeah, Garcia's playing short, by the way. He is, so that was correct.
We're just rotating APs, getting 2 units on Dom Nunez, just rotating the catcher, kind of a week-to-week thing. Somewhat common there. Paddock going on the ILs. Ryan's picking up Spencer Patton, Texas, 34 units.
Why not?
Let's see. Oh, this is me. 10 units, Freeland on a 2-start week. That was my thought.
Sounds exciting.
Woo. Trinan, because Robles probably won't be getting any more saves there in Boston now. He landed. So Mikey getting 14 units or spending 14 units for Trinan. And if anything, locking down some really solid ratios, even if he won't sniff any saves. Neris, same thing. Probably not sniffing many saves anymore there in Philly. So we're spec adding that Kyber Ruiz maybe comes up, starts hitting for the Nationals. I don't mind that. Kind of weird to sit on a catcher, but depending on your team construction, I guess you just kind of think of it as a util prospect. We got 2 util spots. So Darren Ruff, 10 units. I needed a batter that had a heartbeat. I got hit by the IL bug this last week.
Oh.
So I just kind of threw out a bunch of $10 bids, see what stuck. You'll see the theme. Yeah, I have a lot of $10 here.
Had a steal and a homer yesterday.
There you go. Rowdy Telez finding life again there in Milwaukee. 13 units for
Yep.
AP.
He's doing everything that people talked about in the preseason. Now, finally, just not for the Blue Jays,
right? I haven't been keeping track. Is Vogelbach still on the IL at the moment?
I have no idea. Actually, I haven't heard his name in a bit. I would assume he's sitting on the sidelines, chilling.
I just want to see both of them on a field. I'm sure it'll. I don't know how they could be on a field at the same time, but maybe if they're in the AL ballpark and with a DH.
Yeah, I haven't seen Vogelbach around in a while, so I assume he's just not part of the plan anymore. Telez is a great bat. I actually spent triple digits on Rowdy Telez in this league, in our league, back in May or so. It was such a dumb move. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought he was going to be playing and make it happen, and it never happened. So that was a stupid fab bet.
We've all been there. We feel your pain. We can empathize and relate. Thank you for sharing.
It's a common occurrence. You're welcome. Anytime. I'm always ready to tell it like it is and expose my faults. Yeah, I picked up Andrew Kittredge as well, so that's fun.
Yeah, I was Fairbanks went on the IL as soon as Castillo got traded, and it's at least a committee there. So I was like, we'll throw 10 units on the wall, see if it sticks. Same with Eric Fetty, and 5 on Keller and 0 on Braxton Garrett. Maybe he comes back up. I mean, they've only been using a 4-man rotation because of just their schedule the last week. So he pitched really well. I'm like, they need a 5th starter, so let's do the thing. So that wraps up for Werf. We're going to move on. We're going to check out Turf. Let's see. I've already recapped these trades. These happened prior to this, but we'll move over to claims and drops.
Turnpike Fantasy. So funny. I love it. Great name. Brad Rooker again.
Yeah, I'm all zoomed in. I got to get to the right spot. There we are. Tyrone Taylor. He's very much on the fringe of these 15 team leagues. I've seen his name a lot over the last few weeks. So Matt going 25 units, dropping no double. That's pretty much what I'm going to say about that. I don't know if there's anything else. Go ahead, Michael.
No, nothing. I know Matt very well. I'm wondering what he loves. I like Taylor at certain points. I'm not sure I love him as much now because the Brewers, I think the lineup's pretty solid what they want to do right now. But who am I to judge Mr. Matt Williams? I am not.
Here's Brent Rooker again, Vegan Mutadel. I don't know if I know the identity. That's another one unknown. So 13 units. Kyle Finnegan, triple-digit units. Venn Baseball.
Yeah. That's my guy, Ryan Venancio. Big fan of him. He's a friend of mine. I love him a lot. He's a fellow drummer like myself. So I trusted him. He loves a guy. He's usually right. Usually. Not right about Keston Hiura when he came back up for the final time. But otherwise, he's usually right.
With all due respect.
Matt Williams. Jesus. $75 on Andrew Kittredge. Me and my pal JT here, we spent $10 and $14 respectively. Yes.
Yeah.
How do you say it when you're talking in the order? Is it respectfully or respectively?
I think the latter. What you just said there.
Either way, Matt Williams spent a lot more money on Andrew Kittredge than I. In fact, he spent almost 3 times as much of what we spent together. So,
opportunity cost.
Saves. You got to get them. You got to have them.
We're just savvy shoppers. I'm actually a part of an exclusive membership club, Costco, large quantities, discount prices. I could get you a membership as well if you're interested.
Oh, wow. That is elite company. I don't know if they'll let me in, but if you have it in, let me know. I would be interested.
Well, it all started up here in the Pacific Northwest, so I know some people. All right. Another Bednar pickup, 45 units. We're just specking saves. Solak, deuces. We'll see you later. Nick dropping them. Paul Mamino, feel like
That's my guy.
am I pronouncing it right? Half these names.
You nailed it.
All right.
You nailed it. Himamino Fantasy on Twitter. He's the founder and creator of the Data Monster at rotofanatic.com, where we all work together. So Paul's a really smart dude. He picked up Ben Gamel for $8. He knows something. He knows something we don't. That's playing time, and that's home runs that could happen.
Nice. That makes me feel better when I picked up Gamel a month ago. But outfield's been my bugaboo, revolving door. But yeah, SP streamer, Michael Simeon. 19 units going on Stratton. Maybe he's in the know.
Everybody loves Bednar, but I like Stratton too. I like him a little bit more, but we'll see.
Hansel, not hot right now. Hansel. Andrew Gold kicking him to the curb, and then instead 10 units being spent on Colome. Interesting. He hasn't completely righted the ship there in Minnesota, but he's pitching better than he has, which not saying much, but
yeah,
he could randomly back up into another save or two. I don't know. I owe Doug Dennis a case of beer based on we just made a random side bet. He was bashing some saves wannabes guys in the year, and he's like, none of these group of players, he tweeted out, will get over 10 saves. And I was like, I bet Colme could, and he goes, oh, right, over under. Well, so I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to FPAS or not, but if I do go, I'll pay up there because it ain't happening at this point.
I booked my trip today. I'm going for sure.
There you go.
Hope to see you there, buddy.
Yeah. 69 units, SP streamer getting Floro. So hoping for some saves. Reed Detmers. All right. That's the word I was
much less than the last bid.
Yeah, I was gonna say level-headed, but if it works, it works. It doesn't matter how much you spend. If they pop off, it was worth it, right? So I don't mean to, but I mean, would you rather have Detmers on your fantasy team over Bundy? Probably. At least hope for the upside, because I think you know what to expect out of Bundy.
I don't know. Bundy might finish the season strong, so he can't be much worse than he already was, and Detmers is still an unproven commodity. So I'm not so sure that's an obvious call, but we'll see. We'll find out.
Right. And then the great part of that is we both could be right there. We're contrasting, but yeah, you never know because we can't tell the future. Yadiel Hernandez.
Great play there, Paul. Paul's making these smart bids, low single-digit bids on hitters that could pop. Yadiel Hernandez had a 2-homer game yesterday, so he's going to play.
I'm being introduced to him as we speak right now. I didn't know who Yadiel Hernandez was. That's how little I know about the Washington National Minor League farm system.
Yeah, he had a cup of coffee last year in the Bozo season, and now he's back up because there's more opportunity. And
there you go.
He could outdo Robles and other he could be having more playing time than some of the guys that are known commodities. Andrew Stevenson, Robles, etc. in that outfield. Yadiel Hernandez is a guy I try to pick up in a few leagues, so I respect it.
There you go. Waterloo, 3 units on Clippard.
Jesus.
Now that Soria's out of there, that makes sense. Whitgren dropped.
Well done.
Oh, Gold, 7 units on Garver, dropping Zunino. Sure. Just, catcher can be a revolving door, just matchups wise.
Yeah, Jeffers is looming, though. We'll see. He hit a home run the other day. We'll see how that plays out. But they are not in it at all, so.
Oh, right. Rodolfo Castro. Is it Nick Mimi? I forget the first name. I'm blank. I want to say it was Nick. 12 units, dropping Perez. Just maybe need some more depth there. Multi-positional. Spencer Patton. That's another name. 34 units. Venn Baseball, dropping Brujan.
Ryan Venancio on the move. And then Dalton Jeffries from Piba Mino for 43 bones, dropping glass now. I love that move. I picked up Jeffries in my league, so I'm down. Me and Paul are on the same page.
Whoop. And Luis Garcia, Venn Baseball, 11 units.
I'll admit something here. People don't want it. People won't admit this kind of stuff because they want to sound like they're more competent or they're super elites in this game. But the truth is, oh, look at that. You got your daily fill up there on the drink.
Oh, yes.
There's a whole story there, folks. It's funny. Inside jokes are funny.
Yeah.
But coming back from Georgia, I did two 15-hour drives essentially in 3 to 4 days time, and the rest of the time I was spending endless days with my nephews and their kids, and you're just doing kid stuff, and I gave them all my time. So I was a little out of sorts coming back here on Sunday and trying to catch up on everything, and I just didn't even know that Luis Garcia got called up. I loved him last year, and I'm just like, I didn't put a bid on him because I didn't know he was available, and I missed some opportunities. It's really bad timing for me with the trade deadline ending and the trade deadline offering new opportunities for players in the Earth leagues overall. So I'm just going to tell you the truth there. I love Luis Garcia, but I didn't know that he got called up and was playing, and that's the truth.
But you know what? Life happens. Like, shout out, happy belated birthday, nephew of Michael. And
Nicholas, yes, woohoo!
Like just the last league we were checking out Werf. That's the first time I think I've seen Ryan make a couple transactions because he's got a tiny little infant baby number 2 newborn, and he's that takes a lot of priority, time, focus away. So it's all understandable, but it happens.
Just want to keep it real. That's my motto.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Ottavino getting dropped. I don't know. I thought he had like 3 or 4 saves there earlier in July, I think it was, just beginning of the month, and then it's kind of fallen off. So yeah, 13 units for Duffy. David, is it Botti? All right. Vegan Mutadel, 7 units, dropping Jace Peterson. Nico Horner on the IL again, lower body. I forget which hammy it is, but I'll just go NHL style, lower body injury.
Yep.
So playing time there for David. Matt, 4 units. Just need an extra little thump in the lineup. Waka, I was thinking about, I think he's available still even in our league. He's been pitching well and actually going the distance to qualify for the quality start. So I don't mind it. 7 units, heck, that's nothing. Try it out.
I tried to pick him up. Eric Cross recommended it. Eric Cross is my tag team partner in the tag team league, so he was like, we should pick up Waka. We didn't get him in our league, but I tried to get him in another league too. No dice. But in the end, you try your best, and sometimes things don't work out. That's how life goes.
All right.
Oh boy, here we are.
Glarf.
Glarf. All hail Glarf. Shout out to all my Glarf folks. Love all you guys. You're the best. Except Zach Waxman, you're not the best. But you've done a fine job of trying to turn around that team after a rough start. So kudos to Zach.
I remember when I was like, oh, new team name. Okay, Zach. And then it was like this acronym of basically I inherited this league on May 19th or whatever it was. I was like, that's his neat team name. Like, just let it be known.
Yep. Well, some of these trades are going to be new to me, by the way, because I didn't even look at the trades that happen in our league. So this will be new.
Yeah, I'll let you take it away. You can host the trades. You know these guys. You can talk some smack, but right there, Gallo for Gossman.
Yeah, Carm is nipping at my heels. So he's making moves to try to win this thing and climb the standings. Trading Gallo for Gossman. That's smart. He wanted another pitcher he could rely on. Good call. I have no beef with that. But the next trade is even bigger with Gregorius and Ryan Yarborough for Charlie Blackmon. Now, Charlie Blackmon has shown no power this year, but the season's not over yet. You have to think he'll hit a few more home runs. He's not going anywhere. He's still at Coors, stuck at Coors forever. And I like this deal. This is acquiring Blackmon and Gaussman, building his squad up, improving his depth, and hopefully for him, taking us down. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm not so sure of that. This Dansby Swanson is the okay. So you got Adolis Garcia, Tony Disco leaving Carm's team. And how many trades did Carm and Dave do? Dave Swan is involved with all 3 of these. Good Lord. They did a lot of trades together.
Yeah. From an outsider's perspective, I was like, this is unusual. I don't want to,
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
We are
not questioning Dave's integrity at all.
nope.
Because these are, but Adolis Garcia has been, he had the great start, and that was it. I knew what it was going to be, knew what the deal was with this guy. Tony Disco had a great start tonight, I think. I didn't see how it ended, but he was pitching very well. And for Carm, Harrison Bader just went on the IL, I believe. I don't know if it's COVID or not. Double check that. But the piece for Carm is getting Dansby Swanson from Dave Swan. Because in our own trade negotiations, Carm was telling me he really wanted a middle infielder. And he got Dansby Swanson, who he's not the number one overall pick good like he should have been, but he's still pretty damn solid with steals, power, and he can drive in runs and score runs.
Agreed. Whoa, here. Whoa.
Whoa. This is one trade.
This is one trade, 4 for 4. I only thought you could find that at Wendy's. I guess we
Good
found
God.
it in Barf League. Let's start from the bottom, and then so Jake
drops two guys.
Away. Oh, he dropped two. Oh, there we are.
That's what we got going here. He dropped Sam Long and Mike Myers, and then he's sending off Joey Votto and his teammate Jonathan India to his pal Dave McDonald, the co-host of the Rotosaurus and the High Stakes Heat podcast. These are two podcast partners making a deal. You essentially have Votto and India for Dylan Moore, Adam Duvall, Luis Torrens, and Luke Voigt.
More of a quantity for quality, because those are two big names for Votto and India.
Yeah, man.
OBP League.
I'm kind of glad I wasn't around for all this because I'm not. Jake and Dave are two stand-up guys. I know them very well, so I'm not saying they're cheaters or they're colluding in any way, but getting Votto in India is a great opportunity for Dave's team to close out a title here. Luke Voigt, who knows when he'll be ready? He's supposed to go on a rehab assignment and be back, but been perennially injured recently. And all these other guys, Torrens, Duvall, and Moore. I know Duvall hits for power, but he's on the Braves now, where he's not going to start every day either. So I think this is kind of weak. I'm not a big fan of this personally. And I'd tell Dave that to his face if he was here right now, by the way.
And me not knowing anyone, I'd say, I'll allow it.
Yeah, Dave's a straight shooter. So,
gosh, Atlanta just totally reinvented their outfield with who they traded for in real life. So Duvall, I mean, at the midway point, I think he was the RBI leader in the NL. But more chipping in saves. I'm just trying to like what they contribute fantasy wise. Torrens, when he's playing, because they got Kyle Raleigh, because I'm the resident Seattle Mariners fan.
Right.
Torrens plays a little bit of first as well, but that whole thing's just playing time is the question mark here. So yeah, it is a quantity for quality. Tough to evaluate. So we will move on.
Yeah. Anthony Santander for Emmanuel Clase. So Clase goes to Carm. Carm gives up Santander, who's been a major disappointment. He's been dropped in 15-team leagues, I've noticed, on NFBC. So, hey, congratulations, Carm. You got yourself a nice reliever. And John Fish is a wise dude. So I don't get this one either, but I guess it makes sense on paper. So some of these guys are not going to win. So, go ahead.
Oh, say it makes sense to me because Santander is pretty classy.
He is.
You had that hot mic comment regarding the all-female broadcast team, and that was pretty cool to get that candid. And then obviously went on the IL with COVID, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't mind this trade. I mean, it's obviously batter help for relief pitchers that's going to get at least a share of saves there in Cleveland.
Yep. No, it's a fine trade. Joe Ross for Domingo Germán. Dave McDonald gets Joe Ross. Domingo Germán is injured, so that's a bonus for Dave. It's a guy that can throw innings now. It's Jenny Butler giving up Joe Ross. She's way down in the standings too. I'm just wondering why some of these teams are doing trades. I know they're playing out the string, and I expect that they're going to finish the job. I just wonder what they gain here. It's curious to me when teams that are way down in the standings make trades. That's all. And because
there's an overall component, and then there's even just the league.
Yeah.
So yeah, I usually when it's getting near crunch time, like these last few weeks, it would be kind of I'd be fairly timid to rock the boat too much with like a team that's standings points wise in that top threshold of able to take it all.
Yeah. Well, here's Lucas Berry's first trade. Sends Eduardo Escobar to John Fish, my guy Johnny, for Mark Melanson. So Escobar for Melanson, that's a rock solid, right down the middle trade. I completely approve of. No questions asked.
Boom, stamp of approval. I agree.
And then Bobby Witt Jr. for Kyle Muller to close it out. These are between two teams that are not going anywhere. Like Zach Waxman's the dead last for many, it's not his fault necessarily. He inherited the team like we talked about. He's doing the best. And then Jake Lusker again is at the lower end, bottom third of the league, I believe. So I don't know what this is. This just for fun? This is like, hey, let's just do a trade for fun. It's not a keeper league, right?
Like, hey, I want to own Bobby Witt Jr. because he's my boy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. That's a good question.
So it's always good when it's for fun because isn't fantasy baseball supposed to be fun? Boom.
No, that's a lie. That's a myth. That's a myth. So it's about gambling. Everyone knows it. Let's not beat around the bush here. Money's on the line. Pride's on the line. All right. Now we're on to fab bids here in GLARF, the Great Lakes Area Roto Fantasy League. Carson Kelly, $21 for Cool Hand Mike Carter. Mr. Dr. Mike Carter, one of the sweetest men I've ever known. He's a great dude. It's a great bid. $21, Carson Kelly, who should reclaim the job after the wrist injury. He's back. Good times. I like it. And then look at this.
Woo.
This is the biggest Kyle Finnegan bids we've seen so far. $300. Woo!
Say it again.
$300.
Wow.
Lucas Beery spending. He saved up a lot of money in the fab and he cashed in on Kyle Finnegan for $300, which I don't think is, of all these guys who've opened up for closer opportunities now, Kyle Finnegan's interesting, but I don't think he's the most guaranteed. Like, that's the guy who's going to get saves every time out. But Lucas is fighting for his life here. He wants to win it all. He's got to do whatever it takes to do it right now.
Yeah, and I pointed out Lucas, to my mind, out of the top 10 slid the most over this last week. So I don't know team makeup or injury wise, but he definitely is feeling that his saves is something of emphasis. Maybe he looked at the standings, make up the most points there. There is some strategery, if you will.
There is indeed. There's me with Dalton Jeffries, $33. Like I said, P. Mamino paid $43, I believe. So I got it a little bit cheaper, but that was the biggest bid I've spent in the many weeks. I have not spent that much money in a long time on a single player. Holy cow, $147 for Derek Hill?
Wow. Tell me about Derek Hill. I don't know him very well.
Well, he's a Detroit Tigers outfielder. I live in the Detroit area, of course. Michael Govier here, MJ Govier on Twitter. And I'm born and raised in Michigan. And Derek Hill is a guy who can steal bags. That's about it. He's a steals guy. And I feel Karma's getting him strictly because he wants more steals. $147. There's no way that somebody was bidding that high on Derek Hill. I cannot believe there was a rivalry for that bid. I just can't. I can't. I mean, he's got 6 steals still. He hasn't even added to the total recently of steals. Because we talked about Derek Hill about 10 days ago, and he was stuck on 6 steals then. Doesn't necessarily play every day either. He's a defensive kind of guy, steals guy,
Yeah, owned in 7 to 8% of Fantrax leagues. So not a hot commodity.
His Karma's just like, I gotta have it. Yeah, I gotta have him. I don't care what it costs.
Injected into my veins, yeah.
Oh, Jimenez. That's a nice pickup. That's a spec ad. Cool. I like it. Good call, Lucas. I didn't know he was out there. I would have considered picking him up. That's my fault. Again. Failure. Tyler Duffy. Derek Rhodes, who the master of injuries. When it comes to graphics related to injuries, nobody does it better than Derek Rhodes. Tyler Duffy for $27. Great pickup. Well done, Derek. There's the Walker we were talking about. Oh my God. So Carm just went nuts. $79 for Michael Walker. It went for $7 in the last league we looked at. So
you get fab units.
Carm was
Everyone gets fab units.
Yay! Carm was locked in, man. He did all the trades, all the fab bids he could do. And there's my Clipart ad, $27. So that's a lot more than the other bid, which was $3, I think. In the other bid, somebody got. I wish I could have gotten for $3, but I needed another closer I could rely on. I don't know if Clipart's reliable, but whatever. Chris Archer for $2. Mike Carter is mostly out of it. He's in the middle of the pack, so that's cool. Pick up Archer. And then Sam Hilliard by Jenny Butler. That's a great bid. I tried to bid on Sam Hilliard as well. She definitely outbid me, though. I think I only bid $6 to get Sam Hilliard. And Jenny Butler drops Domingo Herman, who she just traded for. So that seems odd. Jenny can always explain herself.
The blue Fantrax means she moved him to the IL.
Oh, my bad, Jenny. I'm a total dumbass. Apologies. Never mind. Disregard everything I just said.
She's just utilizing the roster spot.
That's how you do it. Well done, Jenny. Kudos. So there it is.
All right. No trades to wrap up Barf at the deadline, because
cool.
These happened a little while ago. So we will just go to Fab and fab it up, fab it out.
Excellent. Fab it up. Oh, what we got here?
So strike team, that's Dalton Del Don.
He's in third place, right?
Overall,
yes. Of course,
yeah.
Overall.
Number one.
Shane Bass. Oh, yeah. I don't know him that well, but we're also in the Raz Bowl together. So I guess I'm getting more familiar with Dalton Del Don as time goes on here. Dylan Bundy for $22. See?
And
I told you people might want to
league. So he's really on that fringe of. But yeah, here's even more. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Would you rather have Bundy or Keller? Like, it's just.
I can't believe $22 was the bid for Bundy, though. I wouldn't imagine him being that expensive. But again, it's fab. You never know. We play it on my show, though. Hey, it's Rico Palazzo Fantasy Baseball Podcast. We play a game called Name That Runner-Up Fab Bid. And we try to improve our fab skills by doing it, but it doesn't really help. You never know who's going to bet how much. There's way too many things that go into it, and you'll never master it, but you could try to get close.
Oh, yeah. Random thought. I DM'd RotoGut beginning of the year, like near the end of April or early May, because my home league, Max Fried and Michael Conforto at the time got dropped. And I was just like, how many fab units or what percentage of my budget and he was like, well, my gut tells me, whatever X amount percentage it was like 30, 40%, blah, blah, blah. He goes, but look at the history of your league. And I was like, that's a good point. I don't think people are fairly timid in that league. So actually only had to do like 10 to 15% on each, got them. And at least Fried ended up being okay. Conforto's mostly had a down or IL type year, but hey, in early May, late April, it's like you figured they at least bounce back. I mean, so anyway,
it was smart at the time. Can't regret that. There's another Finnegan bid here.
Yeah, 117. Mr. Mason,
triple digits. The master, Justin Mason. Going all in. Good luck, Justin. Oh, there's the Tyrone Taylor bid again. Matt Williams is the second guy. Thug. Who's Thug?
He's just Thug. We don't know.
Okay. There's the drop of Dan Vogelback, by the way. He has the red flag next to him, which would indicate he's probably still.
Still.
He's going to.
He's going to report.
Rehab assignment. Yeah, there you go. So you Vogelback fans out there, rehab assignment starts Friday. Get excited, Brewers fans. Woohoo!
Nashville.
Edward Olivares for $33. How many times? Who's been sent up and down more, Keston Hiura or Edward Olivares?
Bloop, bloop. I'm going to say Olivares.
It seems like that's true. Yeah, it's got to be close. It's more obvious with the Hiura comings and goings because he's more well known. He was a top 100 ADP guy coming into the season. Edward Olivares is not, but he should be a guy that gets to play every day and he deserves it. And we don't want to see that bad every day. Please. I love Edward Olivares, and I just want to see him play on a regular basis. Whoa! Wow.
Leave no doubt. 104. Toby, bat flip crazy. dropping Robles to get Clippard. Whew.
104. Oh, Toby, he knows what he needs to do and what he wants to do. So I have nothing to say against him. Well done, sir. That's the biggest bid, though. Somebody bid earlier on 79, I think it was, for Clippard. So that's interesting.
I will say this. Here's some hashtag analysis for you. You don't transfer your fab units over to the next year.
Yes.
So you spend them or they will expire.
Genius.
Might as well.
Said, sir.
Because
I feel really great about my $27 bid for him now that I got him. So
there you go.
Really, it's always good to be in the company of smart people like Toby. Brent Rooker again, $29. By the way, I actually picked up Nick Solak this week because I expect him to come back and kick ass to close out the season. Believe it or not, and I got him for like $6, $5.
There you go.
He's killing it at AAA. I know it's only been 7 games, but he's absolutely crushing it. He's got to come back. They know he's better than he was. Wonder Suero. Okay. Somebody thinks going the opposite direction here on Kyle Finnegan, maybe. That's
I don't mind
counter,
it. Zigzag.
You
know. 8 to find out. Sure.
Yeah, play the contrarian play there. Spencer Patton goes for $65. That's a bigger bid than we've seen for him. I still think the Rangers are messy in their bullpen, but whatever. It's definitely his job to lose, most likely right now. There's Yadiel.
Yeah. Familiar names.
Bubba's smart. See, follow what the smart people do. That's always been something I've lived by for many years, and it's served me well.
I feel that's like almost a direct quote of my buddy owns a local restaurant, and he's like, why should I try to reinvent the wheel? I'll just try to pick up on what these businesses in town or larger in the region, or just larger corporations in the world, and I'll just scale it down to me and try to make it work. Like, why spend money on marketing when I just see what they're doing and I can mimic that on social media? It's like, hey, it works.
Yeah, damn straight.
Don't have to overthink it. Like, sometimes, just all those Twitter accounts to follow that have this niche thing, like SP Streamer, I'm a stream a pitcher, or Closer Monkey, what's is it a committee there and in that one city, or are they going with, it's just like some people do it better than the rest. Like you're talking about Derek and the injuries and the graphs so it's just like, use the tools you have at your disposal.
Damn Skippy. I like it. Oh, Rodolfo again. Woohoo, yippee. I don't know who Rodolfo is at all, by the way. Being honest, I like being honest. It's fun.
I know Carlos Hernandez because I had him in a dynasty league. So, because he out of the blue started last year, 2020. And so, yeah.
Surprised Bubba dropped Spencer now. I'm surprised he didn't drop Turnbull sooner, because we knew he's having TJ a couple weeks ago. Just a random thought. No big deal, though.
Yeah, I brain farted on Acuna. I kept him on the IL for a little bit. I wanted to make sure they put him on the 60-day.
Just couldn't let go, could you?
Oh, well, I don't know if you follow Cespedes Barbecue on Twitter, but they tweeted out earlier this year a college guy who tore his ACL, came back 3 weeks later, DH only, and was just hitting bombs. I don't know why that was in the back of my mind. I was almost kind of like a Braves. Hey, prove it. I'm gonna call your bluff. Put him on the 60-day IL, and then I'll believe you.
Couldn't let it go. I understand.
Bitter.
Trust me, I do. Yeah.
All right, still got a few more here. Chas McCormick, Matty Wood, 33 units. Dropping Jimenez. Okay. Just couldn't wait it out. Needed a warm body.
Desperate times.
Duffy also getting picked up, 38 units. Justin Mason dropping Soria, which is interesting because I look at Toronto. I'm like, I don't know who I see a committee. I don't know if Romano holds it down fully and got Hand there as well.
Yeah,
I'm
Brad
gonna let
Hand. I mean, he's going to
you
get the
talk.
chance for sure.
You're going with Hand? Is that your top dog?
Yeah, he's got to get. I assume they got him for that exact purpose. And if he fails, then Soria could take the job for sure. That's true. He's one pitcher away. That's true.
So might see him pick back up next week. I don't know. Spencer Howard. Eno. What does Eno know? I'm always taking notes on Eno's fabinings. Now I'm blanking on the name. He picked up that first baseman in Pittsburgh like a week or two before anyone knew about him. I was like, interesting. Mental note.
Note to self.
Yeah. So Spencer Howard.
New Ranger.
So yeah. If he's healthy, I'm sure that they'll roll him out there. I mean, probably limited, kind of like Dunning-esque, but on a pitch count, but we'll see. Floro, Justin Mason, 37 units, popular pickup. Neris, popular drop. Lots of happenings here.
Justin's desperate for saves, obviously. He's picked up 3 closers here. Spent a lot of money on it, too. Nick Ahmed, the 2 Johns, who are very much in the hunt for things. Nick Ahmed is a smart play that pros like those guys make. That's a good call. And Bote, Earl Pal, David Bodie. Bodie. I call him Bodie. Oh, John Nagowski. There's the Pittsburgh first baseman you're thinking of.
Oh, now he's off on a mental note. Off on
That's right. Moving on. And he's picking up Bote, which makes me feel good because David Bote's on my team in Glarf. So me and Eno have something in common there.
There you go. And last
There's
but not
Toby
least,
closing out.
Stratton. Toby.
Great call.
4 units. Peace out,
Love
kid.
it. Love it. Everyone's on Bednar, but I'm telling you, Stratton is very much in the mix there.
Last but not least, we got the Nerf League. No trades on the season. We'll have to talk to Chris about that.
No trades on the season. That's awesome. I kind of like that. I respect it.
Straight up, nothing to be questioned. Draft, fab pickups, results. Yep. Old school.
Oh, I was just thinking that. These guys are clearly old school.
Makes sense, right?
Northeasterners, they're weirdos. They think they know better than everybody.
Let me scroll down and get ahead of this. Not a whole lot. I just passed by it all. Ortega, Mick, 29 units.
Smart guy.
Finnegan, triple digits. Joe Drake, dropping Smith.
Really, Finnegan was universally, he's the biggest triple ad guy of all these closers that are taking over new jobs. Pretty much by anybody else we've seen. There's been random triple digit bids for others. Oh, Paul Sewald was available. That's a great call. $134 by Joe Drake. That's a lot of money. And I'm surprised that Sewald's available. I figured he would have been picked up a few weeks ago.
I agree with that sentiment. I thought he would have been on a team for all of July.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's striking out fools like crazy. Big strikeout numbers. Not all the save opportunities. And now with Diego Castillo there, it's still going to be a battle. But and there's no wins. So that's what sucks about picking up relievers. It's truly just about saves and keeping your ratios tight. That's it.
Yeah. A fine line to walk.
It is. Yeah. There's no bonus wins to pop in there.
That's right. Glarf was really big into the wins from the grapevine of Dave, is what I was hearing before this whole season started.
Yeah.
Something to
an old roto thing.
Yeah, but something to revisit in the off season. I mean, I wouldn't mind both. I don't know if that sounds weird, wins and quality starts, but
I'm down. I just like the fact that relief, if it's not going to be K9 either, relief pitchers I like to have a real purpose in this league. I don't want to over inflate their value either, but it just seems like it's very, very minimal. And I don't really care. I don't stay up laying in my bed thinking, gosh, why is Earth like this? Why have we not changed the policy? I can't live like this. No, that's not the case.
Take it anymore.
Why?
All right. So yeah, Bednar dropping Yimmy, 41 units, Chris, and then also
that is
go ahead.
That's painful. That is painful. Yimi Garcia was Chris's guy, and he must have really really been distraught when he had to finally drop Yimi Garcia. He gave me a tip on Yimi back in February saying he really liked Yimi. He wrote an article about it, I believe, on his website. And people don't know that. Baseball Pods, Chris Marr has his own website, baseballpods.com. So it must have been painful to see Yimi not be a closer in Miami anymore. Chris, I feel for you. Wish you the best.
And I will add on to that. I really hope Yimi doesn't get a random save while Presley is on the paternity list, because that would just be an extra twist of the knife. Anyway, sorry.
That
Maybe
would. You're right. That would. Chris, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Tyler getting picked up only 19 units. Dan Harris.
Amazing. Beat me, Dan. Dan's a good guy. Like Dan. Abraham Toro, $44. Wow. Joe Drake going big. $44. Aledmus Diaz. Eric Cross and I picked him up in the tag team league. Eric really wanted me to pick him up. He's like, we got to do this. So I hope he does something while the opportunities are opened up with what Brantley's hurt. And there's, I don't know. I don't even know now. I'm making it up. I would tell you lies if I knew who else was hurt, but Diaz has been getting playing time and he's been producing. I know that is a fact.
Absolutely, yes. I have him in a dynasty league, and I was like, "Oh, look at that! He's really going off the last week or so."
Yeah, and he dropped. Joe dropped Eddie Rosario, who was traded to the Braves, but he's hurt right now.
That's interesting. That might be someone can stash him on the IL. I mean, Fantrax legit pickup options. You can go add straight fab, add straight to your IL. Pretty savvy way of going about that. I've done it before.
I'll give him credit for that.
Seems like cheating.
Yeah, there's a lot of complaints sometimes about the Fantrax model, but that's cool. So we got to give props when they deserve it. Also, you could do your fab stuff on mobile on Fantrax and NFBC. Am I a moron? I've never been able to do ad drops on NFBC on the mobile version. Am I crazy?
I've never NFBC'd.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the case because I've tried every Sunday night. I'm like, oh, I can't be right in front of my computer. Can I do my ad drops on NFBC on my mobile? And me and Eric couldn't figure it out. So, but at least on Fantrax, you can do that. So that's a bonus for Fantrax.
Yeah, unfortunately, online gambling is frowned upon in the state of Washington.
Oh, I know.
Currently,
oh, yeah.
For about the last decade and a half. But no, we've legalized other things, but not online gambling yet. So hopefully that's on the horizon. Seems like
I know two guys. Two guys I wanted to add. I know two guys I wanted to add to the Palazzo Invitational, which is our like podcast oriented fantasy league. And it was Sam, my guy Sam, who couldn't do it. He owns his own pet food store. Sam's a great guy. Nice. And then Michael Richards, who works at RotoFanatic, is one of our prospect gurus. He also lives in Washington. So neither one of those guys could join up because you can't.
So wait, you have a pet food guy hookup in Washington?
Yeah, Sam. Christ, what's his last name? I'm spacing out. It's Sam F. I haven't talked to Sam in a minute, but yeah, he owns 2 stores. I don't know what part of Washington they're in, but they're 2 locations, and they're really, really great stuff. He has commercials and everything. I've seen them. It's cool.
Nice. I used to have a fish tank guy hookup in Portland, Oregon. No longer, but very niche thing to have. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's Sam FBB1 on Twitter. Right now, his current handle says ellipsis ... That's all it is. But he's also the handle's at Sam FBB1. So hit him up, follow him, connect with him, fellow Washingtonian.
Right. I need dog food. Got 2 dogs.
Nice. He loves fantasy and he loves dogs. So you're in.
There we go. We got a connection. That's a good convo starter. Wrapping it up here. Did we talk about Tyrone Taylor? We went down a rabbit hole. Or
we covered him. He's a fine man. Best of luck to him. But Kyle Muller.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of him yet. I feel like he's just another one of these faces on the Atlanta rotation that comes and goes. Tucker Davidson, Kyle Muller, et cetera, et cetera. Bryce Wilson's gone now, but Kyle Wright and so on and so forth. There's just been an endless parade of these dudes, and none of them really seem to make a huge difference besides like Huascar Ynoa, who's coming back soon.
Right.
And Tuki Toussaint to a certain extent, but he got kind of ripped up too.
Yeah, I didn't mind Mueller, at least when he was on, the 25-man team in the bigs. He was pitching fine, especially for a 15-team league, maybe like a streamer type, but they really sent him up and down. Another name, just yo-yo.
Whee!
Well, that does it. That was the agenda. We got it done. Earth overall standings, check. All the fab innings, week 20, check. And also all the fantasy trades and all of the Earth leagues, almost as active as the real thing. Fun stuff. So much fun.
Well,
Check.
now I don't have to go back and review it all. I just basically did a bunch of homework for the show here. That's what we did here. Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to catch up on my own league and the Earth overall as a whole. I love Glarf. It might be my favorite league I'm in now. I'm not kidding at all. Seriously, because I love the people and I like the competition. And of course, I'm like in second place, so that makes me love it more because I have a chance. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I dig it. I really like it. And I love this regional aspect. A lot of analysts from all over the country doing the best they can. And I think this is, people talk about tout and labor and all this stuff. I don't see why Earth, this is like the definition of an elite league, right?
Right. I think
So,
the regional aspect for me really kind of is the glue that holds it all together and almost kind of gives it more meaning than just, I'm an expert, you're an expert, it's fun, but it's just like this kind of camaraderie / rivalry of
yeah,
so
I love it. I do. I really do. So I'm glad you do the work here. Thank you again. It's fantastic stuff. People, check it out. If you want to know what some of your favorite analysts are doing, this show encapsulates it all for you, puts it into a nice box, put some gift wrap paper on it, put the bow on it, maybe a piece of chocolate too, if you like chocolate. I don't know why you'd put that on a gift. It doesn't make sense.
Slurpees. If you like Slurpees,
Yeah. Hey, if you love Slurpees, you got to talk to my guy JT. He knows a lot about Slurpees, trust me. But I'm MJ Govier. If you don't know who I am, you can follow me on Twitter at MJ Govier. GOV is in Victor IR, and I run the Hey, it's Rico Palazzo Fantasy Baseball Podcast, Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's on Twitter. We're gonna have more guests this week too. So Ray Murphy's coming on, and Russell Withers and Lauren Auerbach. So we got 3 guests this week. It'll be a busy week. I'm really excited to get back after the week that was minimal because I was on the road. So we'll talk more about what we saw on the deadline. We'll talk about the rest of the season. We'll start to look back too and be like, hey, man, who did not perform at all this year? Who performed really well? I mean, we have 60 days to go, but we can start to make some conclusions to a certain extent.
Awesome. Thank you for your time. I told you how long I estimated. We went way over. My apologies.
It's okay.
Hopefully you get a good night's sleep. Thanks for staying up. I learned that Michigan is in East Coast time, so
That's
I
right.
thought I was being okay not starting at midnight. I was like, oh, it'll be like 11:30 for him. Nope. So my bad.
No, it's okay. But I knew what I signed up for, and I'm glad we did this. It was worth it. I will sleep peacefully now, though. I'm ready to go to bed, and that's the best when you've had a full day and you can put the head to the pillow and just fall asleep. That's the best.
Cool. Well, I'm JT. You can find me on Twitter at JT_the ginger. Check out my list. I've got all the different analysts that I've at least identified, 66 people in total on a list, and you can follow them. Those are all the Earthers that I know of. And follow at the Werf League and check out the overall standings if you want to interact with it. It's out there in the Twitterverse. But he's Michael. I'm JT. Thanks again, man. Much appreciated. It's been a lot of fun. And until next time, we'll see you later. Take care. Be well. Stay safe.